an island in the middle of the Baltic Sea, right between Sweden and Finland, called the Åland Islands. The island is a bit special because it belongs to Finland, but it has its own government and its own laws within certain areas. It is also a bit special because this island has a law stating that here the only official language is Swedish, even though it belongs to Finland, that has two official languages, Swedish and Finnish. On this island, the government concluded that the digitalization in the surrounding areas were going at a higher pace than in their own island. So the government decided to appoint a digital advisory board that would look at why was this the case and what could be done about it and how could we make the Ålanders' life easier and simpler through digital solutions. The advisory board came up with a report stating that Åland has all the prerequisites for successful digitalization. There are excellent, there are excellent fiber connections. There are 4G mobile networks. The inhabitants has mobile phones and computers. There are several larger IT companies in the island. And there is even an IT education. So competence is not the issue. It was also so that the government had appointed money for several years to modernize the IT systems. But that wasn't happening. So money was not even the issue. So what was the problem? The advisory board concluded that the island had got stuck in old ways of working and in a fear of change. The public sector didn't get the IT systems modernized because they were unable to do the requirements work. In an eager to do a perfect specification and in an ever-changing world, they never came to completion. The requirements were never done. Another struggle was the procurement legislation and the lack of flexibility. The advisory board suggested several actions. One was looking at the procurement legislation and making it more flexible to be able to do faster and more stuff. They also suggested a new group that would drive the digitalization forward. And they also suggested a modern and innovative digital process. My name is Victoria Sundberg, and I am the chairman of the Digitalisation Commission of the Åland Islands. I am appointed by the government to drive the digitalization forward. These are most of my crew in the Digitalisation Commission. Our task is to drive digitalization forward in a faster pace. When I'm not the chairman of the Digitalisation Commission, I am business area manager at one of the larger IT companies in Åland Islands called Crosskey. We build and deliver solutions and services for the banks and financial sector in the Nordics. But as the chairman of the Digitalisation Commission, I'm here today to tell you a story about how we in the Åland Islands introduced a new way of driving fast digitalization through a modern digitalization process. I will also tell about the learnings and the findings that we had on this first journey with our process. So the process that the advisory board suggested has 3 steps. So the first step is to define what is the problem. The second step is to identify potential solutions and create ideas. And the third step is to find the best partner to build it with. And we in the Digitalisation Commission took it as our mission to make this a continuous process in the Åland society. In the first step, we in the Commission wanted to involve all the citizens in the Åland Islands to contribute with what is the problem? What is it that they see? The Ålanders are expert at whining and nagging, and they are all over Facebook doing this. So we thought that they are at least good at describing problems. So we launched a site called stormig.ax or störmig.ax, or in English, whatbothersme.ax, where the Ålanders could do two things. They could write what problems that disturb them, or they could read others' comments and upvote on those posts. Before the launch, our biggest worry was, how do we get the Ålanders to go here to nag and whine instead on Facebook? But we wouldn't have had to worry. Within less than 24 hours, we had more than 180 posts in the page. Åland is an island of 30,000 inhabitants, just so to get a perspective here. So 180 posts written in less than 24 hours. That showed that the page was needed. The Ålanders wanted this place. We had received a lot of feedback in the media and from Facebook and all over the place that why on earth are you setting up a page where people can nag and whine? Don't we need a more positive tone in the society? But we said, wait and see. Let's see what we can get from there. The second largest worry we had was that the Ålanders would only complain about the weather or bad road quality. Those are kind of hard to change with digitalization. But that was not the case. Most of the posts were very well written and they were very relevant. After 1 month, we had 821 posts, and the Ålanders had spent approximately 750 hours reading others' posts and upvoting them. It was a success. To ensure traffic to the site, we of course needed to create some buzz. But the only money we spent on marketing was 800 euros, and that was mainly on Facebook ad campaigns. Otherwise, we spent time in the media creating visibility, and we were in all the newspapers and the radio and over Facebook and used our private networks to get people to see the site and contribute. All the information that we gathered on this page was categorized and grouped into different areas so that we can see that where are the Ålanders, where do they want to see a change? And we, for instance, saw that within e-services in the public sector, they wanted a change. They wanted services in the hospital and at the motor vehicle inspection, they wanted additional digital services. But we already knew that there were a lot of initiatives ongoing in those areas, and we wanted to take on something that was tougher. So through some additional voting and selections, we finally came to the problem that the Ålanders, it was the Ålanders that wanted us to change. So we let them choose. And they chose the problem that as an Ålander, when you shop online, due to some tax regulations, you get double VAT at some scenarios. It was a problem that was introduced already back in 1995 when Åland entered EU and the legislation that was put around Åland at that point in time. But the problem has been increasing since the online shopping has been growing a lot since 1995. Nobody predicted this problem back then. So we dared to try a bold approach to invite all Ålanders in finding what is the problem, and we chose one, and we succeeded. And thereby we also decided that we would go for a new way to gather the ideas and find out how to solve this. So we partnered up with a company called Industry Hack, which are specialized in driving what they call innovation challenges. So they have a network of companies that are experts in digital design, service design, digital innovation creation, and so forth. The new modern techniques to create digital solutions. And together with them, we arranged a competition where the winner would get to do a pilot to show that their solution actually is working. So in late May, the co-development camp was in Mariehamn. Referring to the last speakers, you can see that we had a fee for the teams that are participating, but you would also get a reward when you won, and that was to be able to show in the pilot that that you can do this. So 6 teams from different companies came to Åland to innovate on the problem and to present their solutions to a jury, where the jury was to decide who would be the winner. The days before the on-site camp, the biggest discussion in the Digitalisation Commission was, what do we do if we don't have a solution? We had no clue whether we would get anything out of this. We had selected teams that we knew were good in digital innovation and service design, but we had no clue whether they would be able to solve a problem that nobody had been able to solve for 20 years. So we had discussions and we had risk scenarios. We had statements ready for the press. We had been all over the net, all Facebook. We had been on radio. We had been in the newspaper saying we have this new digital process. We will fix this problem. But what if we would fail? So we had prepared things like, we took on a very tough problem. Nobody has been ever able to solve this in 20 years. And we have learned a lot and we will continue our struggles. And so forth, yada yada. Just in case we wouldn't be able to find a solution. But the final day of the contest came, 6 teams and 6 presentations to the jury. And all jury members were to give points. We had a form where you were to give points on certain criteria to the participating teams. And when we summarized the points after the presentations, we had 3 teams with the equal amount of points and 3 really good solutions. And then it turned out that Åland Post, that had been partnering with us on the contest and helping us out, because they knew a lot about the problem. They were interested in 2 of the other solutions, so out of 6 solutions, 5 were of real interest. We could never have predicted that kind of success. The selection of a winner was much tougher than we could have imagined. We learned that the next time we will ensure that we have budgeted money for 2 winners, because the teams came up with solutions that were of a bit different angles. And when you put the 2 together, then you got a real game changer. But we did select a winner, and this is the winners and their solution that is currently in pilot with real Ålanders. So, if I sum it up a bit of what I have told you so far, the Digitalisation Commission met for the first time in September 2017. We launched our site to gather the feedback from the Ålanders in November 2017. In February, we had worked with all the material, categorized, and had the Ålanders help us again to find the problem that they really wanted us to solve. So we had chosen a problem in late February. In May, we held the first co-development camp, or the first hackathon ever in the Åland Islands, and one of the first societal hackathons in Finland and probably also Sweden. And currently, we are doing a pilot. We have worked through the summer and is currently in live use with the Ålanders. And again, gathering feedback to see what to do next and whether this solution helps the Ålanders in their daily life and fills the purpose that we had set up from the beginning. And by Black Friday, on the 23rd of November, we aim to launch this in full scale to the Ålanders so that it helps them in their daily life. All this in just 1 year's time. And now, we are doing it all over again. This time in a bit faster pace again, we have learned. So we have taken on the thing that the Ålanders put on second place when they voted back in February. This is also a problem that has been all over Facebook, nagging and whining during the summer. So the next on-site camp will be held in early December in Mariehamn. The challenge is up for application at the moment. So we are looking forward to see which ones will come and help us out this time. This time it's about a struggle in the services surrounding the small ferries that transport people and vehicles out to the small islands around in the Åland archipelago. And as I mentioned in the beginning, the Digitalisation Commission has taken on as its task to make this process a continuous process. So not just one time or 2 times, we want to see this happen many times so that the Ålanders can see an increase in the pace of digitalization and can have a simpler and easier life with digital solutions. It is time to start to wrap up my presentation. But as I told you initially, I'm here to tell a story about how the Åland government took a bold decision to let us try a process where we gathered feedback and found the problem in a way that nobody could have predicted the results of. We also took a way of creating the ideas on the solutions, on the problems that the citizens got to choose. We did it in a way where we had no clue whether we would find any solutions at all. And currently we are piloting the first solution to see whether we came to a solution that actually fulfills the purpose. So, what is it that I want you to take with you from what I'm presenting here today? Well, if you are to do in this kinds of way, then remember, just as you have heard a few others pointing out today, define the vision that you want to achieve and define what challenges you have to get there. What is the problem that you want to get help solving? Do not try to define solutions. It is very easy to fall into that trap. And we usually end up in those. We try to help or try to be smart, but keep the solutions to yourself until it's time for idea creation and see what comes. Involve people, teams and experts on design thinking, service design, digital design, because you need new skills and new kinds of knowledge to create new kinds of services and solutions. And keep an open mind, because you will get to see solutions and ideas that you wouldn't have imagined and come up with yourself. And finally, last but not least, keep a high pace, because you want to see the solutions as soon as possible to be able to validate, is this actually fulfilling that vision and the idea that I had? So that you can fail fast and rethink and redo. And dare to fail, because you will learn a lot. And you will know more about how to attack the problem going forward.
All right. So, big hand.